And you know, if it's Tuesday, it's all about the docket. In the house, Kamakawa Kamadawa, Edwin Obuya, front and center. And Fanya Mambo Kinodia is Fanyaing his mambo. Kimeumana.
Hini ndio nasema kabati kaende
Kaende. Obuya.
Yes.
Is the writing on the wall for Rigathi, the truthful man?
It is. It has been coming for a while. We thought that President Ruto will not go ahead and bring this impeachment motion, but it looks like it's coming. Senator Dansor Mungatana, I think it's just meant to test the waters. They want to bring that, and even the National Assembly might use that censure motion in the Senate then to bring charges against Rigathi. And remember, it's in the history of National Assembly since the new Constitution, we have only acquired a 2/3 majority once. When the BBI was being passed, that's when we got over 233 members of parliament to get the 2/3 majority. The biggest headache for those proposing that impeachment motion will be how to arrive at the 233 members of parliament, then to pass that motion in the National Assembly before it goes to the Senate. Remember, a member proposing that motion will need signatures of 117 MPs to make that motion then be debated. For the speaker to allow that motion to be debated, you need signatures of 117 MPs. Then when it goes to the debate, you need 233 members of parliament to pass that motion before you take it to the Senate. We also need a 2/3 majority to then impeach the deputy president. It's a tall order, but you know, politics being what politics is, and with the broad-based government, I think President Ruto, if he wanted, he can get that 233 members of parliament to impeach the deputy president.
It was coming. For us, we are happy. I mean, if you ask me, who's us? Anybody who doesn't like Kenya Kwanza. You see, we were set. We were prepared to fight Kenya Kwanza. Then we found them fighting inside. We were like, let's wait. I mean, we save our energy. Already they are fighting one another. They are using their own energy and their own resources. Why do you want to fight them when they are fighting? So we are waiting for them to become weaker and weaker. And then we will have a chance to remove them at the ballot in 2027. But yes, it had to get here. Because you see, President Ruto is an alpha male. And his deputy is also an alpha. And all of them are very abrasive and aggressive. And you see now how the deputy president has come out. He's taking out to the president. And he's going on the streets and he's doing his thing. And he's very aggressive. So from where we sit, we are happy that they are doing what they are doing. Let them continue boxing. And by the way, it's coming, for real. I sat on a show with the Honorable Zahil Zaja yesterday. And he confirmed in 2 weeks. And Oscar Sudi never goes so far from the president. And whatever he says is never too far from what the president wants. And alisema 2 weeks. Mungoje 2 weeks, hii maneno kwisha. So the deputy president is going home. I think my advice to him is one. Wait until they start the second round of voting. Just when they're about to confirm, ukiona ni kama zitafika, you resign. So that you're not impeached. Otherwise, if he's impeached now, he's going to be in Waititu's shoes and Sonko's shoes. He can't vie, he can't become anything. Yes. He can't hold public office.
Right.
For 10 years.
So don't,
for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yes,
so my advice to the deputy president is don't resign right now. Wait a bit. Wait a little bit. Wait until now they start voting. And when you are sure they have the numbers and they are going to impeach you and it's going to happen, you resign. In fact, you call a parallel press conference so that you divide the attention on the screen into two. And then you are there and you resign. So that you say, I was never impeached. It has never happened. So you cannot impeach someone who's already resigned. That's his only saving grace to meet him, to help him into 2027.
When Rigathi was being interviewed by Gituku, he confirmed that they expected that there could be problems, yes, but it just came too soon.
Yeah,
it is too soon. You know, hata honeymoon yako imeisha, and then unasikia tena kuna separation. Yes. Now they want to a divorce. You know, it came too soon. You know, with what happened between President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. You know, they went through the bromance was still very lit during their first term, until the handshake. And the problem, I think, for Rigathi is that the handshake this time happened too early. You can just accommodate as many alpha males like Fanyamambo is saying kwa zizi wanasemanga fahali wawili wakai zizi moja. Unajua Kiswahili? Fahali wawili hawakai zizi moja. Naam. So they really can't, they were not fitting. Raila Odinga, Rigathi and William Ruto could just not just fit in the same room politically, and I don't know how Rigathi is going to play his card, because as it is, we are told that at least the bigger part of the ground is with him, and the persecution that he's facing, that people think that he's facing, at least people of the mountain, then he's going to give him more bonga points with the masses on the ground, because he says Central Kenya people hate betrayers, but I doubt if that is true, because somebody was pointing out, Jomo Kenyatta betrayed Oginga. He was pointing out that Kibaki betrayed Raila Odinga, and he pointed out that William Ruto was betrayed by Uhuru Kenyatta. So it's not that people of Central Kenya, I think that's their politics anyway, but I think as of now, Rigathi is gaining more and more ground the more he appears to be persecuted on the ground.
I was actually going to ask you, Fanyamambo, is he going to get the sympathy vote of the mountain, of Morima?
The Kenyans are out to remove William Ruto. And anything that looks like a human being that vies against William Ruto will get votes. So if that person be Rigathi, even if Jeff or Fanyamam, whoever will vie against William Ruto, and they appear like they stand a chance, will get a lot of votes.
But can they beat him?
It's a world of possibilities. I mean, the easiest person to beat right now is William Ruto. He's the easiest president to beat.
But he's the consummate politician, like you keep saying.
He is a consummate politician who has lost favor with the people. And the problem with losing favor with the people, getting it back is very hard. He's played his politics very well. He's been able to manage politicians. He's not been able to manage the people on the ground. There is raw emotions. You saw what happened to Dennis Itumbi at Bomas of Kenya. He brings several young people, brands them UDA, puts them in a hall, and then they start singing Yote Yawezekana Bila Ruto. It tells you it's crazy that people have gotten to a place where they are telling this government to their face, bring anything you bring, we will take your money. But we are not together with you. So Rigathi stands a chance, not because people love Rigathi, by the way, but because people don't want William Ruto.
Ruto, as you call him, consummate politician, yes, but I think the country will have done without this drama right now. I think the politics of impeachment, the politics of censure motions, the politics, it appears as if we are being blinded to not to see what is happening in the country, because there's hue and cry in the country about what is the cost of living, about Adani's and all those things, and it's as if we are being blinded not to look at what is we are, as Kenyans we are supposed to be looking, and we would have done better without this hullabaloo about impeaching Rigathi and all those other things, because as it is, Jeff, there are lots and lots of issues that Kenyans should have dealt with. We need to deal with Adani, the elephant in the room that is Adani, who wants to be in each and every sphere of our lives. Who is he? Why is he being pushed down our throats? I think those are major issues that we should be dealing with, not the impeachment of people who came together willingly, and now we are being treated to the drama of if he will be impeached, how he will be impeached, what are the consequences of his impeachment, who wants to take over from him. We are being told there are seven people who have been promised that they are going to be the deputy president. 6 are from the Murima.
Well, 6 out of 7.
Each and every person, he goes to Aiguru and tells endelea kupiga Rigathi, when ndio utakuwa deputy. He goes to Ichungu and says endelea kupiga Rigathi, utakuwa deputy. Kindiki is been propped up by almost each and every kikundi ya wazee ame prop up Kindiki as the next deputy president, and so they are being and the problem is that they are using the Murima people to fight the Murima person. you know, and so for the first time actually we saw Boss Sholei speaking about impeaching of Rigiji. That is the first politician from the Rift Valley that has spoken about such an issue openly, that is. But they have been under orders, they push, but people who are speaking about impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, all of them are from the mountain.
Even the person who is going to bring that motion, I believe, is going to be from Mount Kenya. And the people who are fighting Rigiji the hardest are from Mount Kenya. I don't know just what became of our people. I have not seen Rift Valley people go and say we are 48 MP somewhere and we are supporting Kindiki. Even those who are supporting Kindiki are also still from the mountain. So our people need a lot of prayers and a lot of help. But there's something else that Rigiji could have done that he hasn't done very well. The people who are handling him and helping him with campaigns are taking him to the wrong people. Because they are taking him to crowds in Githurai. But the message that they are giving to those crowds will not help him, because the best they could do is demonstrate, throw stones. I think what they should have been doing is making it impossible for MPs to vote against him. If I was standing in Githurai, I would have been saying, nyinyi ndio mulituma mubunge wenyu ani impeach, and everywhere you go you ask people, mubunge wenyu akini impeach mutahesabu mutakubali arudi huku kwenyu ama mtakuwa mnamsalimia daily. You know, if he goes in every constituency and start saying that we are counting those people from the mountain who will cast their votes to impeach me, and we the people of the mountain are going to tell them that they will never step foot here until after 2027, that if they, if you create that intimidation, that an MP now, every time he goes home, he's told jaribu, and every time, and he has people telling him jaribu, what will happen is you are taking away the power of the president to now impeach Rigiji through the members of parliament. Because it's very simple. Just count the MPs from Mount Kenya, there are about 60 of them, and intimidate them and make it very hard for them to go to parliament and actually vote yes. Yeah, so that there's that fear that even if I'm going to get 2 million or whatever the amount of money each MP is going to get, because I'm sure there's a budget for it, they will be remembering that once I cast my ballot, I cannot step in my constituency. If that is the kind of campaign he was running, he would win this thing in the morning.
You know, with Uhuru Kenyatta, we saw that the stroke that broke the camel's back was the handshake at the stairs of Harambee House. That is what broke whatever that was the deal that was there between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. On this one, you can't really place it and say this is what Rigiji did that was wrong to President William Ruto. This is what President William Ruto did that was wrong by Rigathi Gachagua. And so the problem also has been that, the government, when this government came in, they were so abrasive and they were chest thumping, and each and every person knew everything. Chungwa will tell you, I'll date with the Uhuru Kenyatta who is Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua will tell you, nimeweka mitego kila mahali kule State House, hakuna mahali Raila ataingilia. And he has been accused, Rigathi Gachagua has been accused of being so abrasive to the fellow elected members, and he thinks that he's the alpha male, as Fanyamambo says, and so each and every person must salute and say, kiss the ring and say you are the person to lead us, and that has not gone on well with those elected leaders, and there are very few that can actually stand and say I am with Rigiji. On intimidation, Jeff, finance bill was here and MPs were intimidated to each and every person was intimidated, but they stood up and still voted yes. In fact,
but some have never stepped in their constituencies to date.
Your MP told the constituents that I know you elected me, but my allegiance lies with the Chungwa. Whatever Chungwa says is what I'm going to do. And so some of these people, I think, wameshikwa ile mahali na hata ufanye nini, they are still going to vote. If the president says vote yes, they are going to vote yes, because wameshikwa mahali ile
ile kufinywa.
So wakisema yes, ni yes. Even if people are voting yes for finance bill, and the whole country was saying no. The constituency, you go there, they will chase you and tell you vote no, but you still stand up in parliament and say and vote yes because your president has said vote yes. That's just how our politics are. And na bunge sahi, I doubt if they can be reasonable and say, is this? If you ask me, actually, there are no grounds to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. There is none. according to the grounds that were placed by the Constitution, there is none.
There is. He's a truthful man, and Kenya Kwanza hates the truth. You can't be speaking the truth when others are lying, and then you fit in the same government.
He's a truthful man.
Yeah, and the others are lying. How can you be in the same government? He has to go. That's a good ground for impeachment. You cannot be speaking the truth when others are lying.
Alafu you hear from other sources, President anaenda mahali.
Mako na church function kwako.
Yes, kwako.
Na hujaambiwa.
Nyeri.
Now you need to be there.
No, uko Kirinyaga.
No. During the era of the vice president, the president will sack the vice president anytime.
On the 1 o'clock news.
Mwambia Rigathi amekutoa anakupeleka kuwa Minister of Home Affairs.
Yes.
And you will do nothing. But this deputy president, they are joined at the hip. And I think we have not just reconciled ourselves to having the new deputy president, because the problem is the Constitution also is that they gave us a deputy president without any, they just say is the principal assistant to the president. And the president can tell you, I want you to assist me to do nothing. And you will do nothing for 5 years. and that's now what is the problem, because even in the counties it's happening. A governor comes in with the deputy, he can't sack the deputy, but he doesn't give him or her anything to do. And so the deputy stays there, comes, reads the paper, puts the courts on the seat and leaves, comes back at 3, takes the court to go home. And that's when the deputy, when your governor is very good, he's funding to bring the paper, funding, But when the governor is that bad, you don't even get funds. You don't even your salary is delayed. Hata ya chai ya upati kwa sababu
actually the question is now being asked by Kenyans. Do we really need this deputy president? They just refuse to die in office somehow. So even if you have a deputy, then the succession plan doesn't work. I think we really must constitutionally now begin to define. In fact, I'm happy. I wish it's the days when we used to say that a deputy president then becomes a minister for something. So that like Mudi Awori, you're the deputy president and the minister for home affairs. You have a docket, or you're the deputy president. Like Kenya now, we have a lot of stress. They can make him deputy president and minister for happiness. But at least, in Japan, they have ministry for happiness.
They do.
So make him that, or,
Or Ministry of Truthfulness.
Yeah, Ministry of Truthfulness, Happiness, and Mitego Affairs. Something, whatever you're going to make. But I think it's a high time deputy presidents started having a docket to themselves, a ministry. In fact, because trying to define the roles is not really good. Let the deputy president have a ministry. I think that would be a very good place for them to be.
Constitutionally, Kindiki and Rigathi are not the same. Rigathi is on a higher level than Kindiki, who is a CS for Interior, and once you make Rigathi a minister, then you are lowering him to that level of a minister, and Rigathi went across the country looking for votes with President William Ruto. So why will you lower him to a level of a minister? That has been the argument on this issue of making a deputy a minister also, but I agree there's need to just reconcile and make sure that the roles of a deputy president are well defined, because as it is right now, we either change the constitution to make him just the vice president, where when the president decides today I want Fanyamambo to be the vice president, he can make him the vice president. But as it is, you cannot be looking for votes with somebody, and then after you ruling, then you are relegated to somebody. You are relegated to a lower person than, Njeru, for example, Minister of Agriculture, who we never knew before 2 months ago.
Who?
or
what?
Or the one for water. What is the young man for water? What Minister of Water is called who?
We have to Google.
Migwi or Migwa or
that
something.
One.
So you cannot relegate Rigathi to that level.
Karen kept reporters waiting all day. I think it went all the way to midnight or something.
Yes.
When Hussein Mohammed came out and said,
Kimeumana.
Kimeumana.
and
because the fight was between
Kindiki. You know, there was Ndidi Nyoro, there was Alice Wahome, there's Rigiji, and then there was Kindiki. Wahome and Nyoro were dropped. Then they remained the two of them, Kindiki and Rigiji, and they couldn't agree. They debated until very late. They couldn't agree.
I heard someone was slapped. Kuna mtu alichapwa.
Rigiji alisema bwana, hii kitu siombi nimpe.
Ama arudishiwe pesa yake.
Ama mnipatie za kwangu mimi nikafunge.
He had spent a lot of money on that campaign. Remember alikuwa ameshonesha nguo za yellow za wamama na vitambaa. Alikuwa ameshonesha mingi sana. So he spent quite a bit of money. You know, when you're running for the president, one of the things that they needed Rigiji for, you know, somebody who has some billions that can just be, you know, that can be frozen. You know, you're a one-term MP, but you have billions that can be frozen. That guy spent a lot of money on the UDA campaign. So basically, it was either you give him back his money or you make him deputy president. And they opted for the easy option, which was to make him deputy president. The president had just gone to Haiti.
Correct, on his way to New York.
And we were celebrating, or rather they were celebrating, that they have been able to recover the Haiti airport back from barbecue and the bandits. And I want to clap for the Kenya police. They have done a good job in recovering that airport. A country the size of Isiolo has got an airport. Now I want to beg the same Kenya police to come and recover our airport from Adani queue. Because they have proven that they have experience and they are very good at recovering airports all over the world. They have recovered one for a country the size of Isiolo. Please come. Now your country, which is much, much bigger than Haiti, does not have an airport. That one went with a barbecue. Ours has gone with a Adani queue. So Kenya police, we are begging you, come back here and recover our airport. It has gone to some cartel called Adani. And by the way, then they also celebrated that they have recovered a hospital, the national hospital in Haiti, that had gone also to barbecue. He was controlling it. Now, Woi Kenya police, now waomba in the name of God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, come please and recover our hospitals, because all of them have gone through chief to another Adani queue. And all our hospitals. So we don't have a hospital here. We don't have hospitals. They've gone to something called Adani. So Kenya police, with the same experience that you are able to recover hospitals for Haiti, just come. And when you go to the airport, you know now they are speaking Indian there. When you go there, they ask you where you've come, just say nehi, 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 which means no. And they'll go. In fact, I looked at Adani. They don't look like they can take a lot of tear gas. You just need to carry one, you throw, then they'll go and they'll cough for 3 years. So please, Kenya police, when you come back, you don't need to come back. They're already here.
They're here.
Yeah, so we don't have an airport, if you don't know. Just the same way you recovered the one there, just come and recover ours. That's the only thing we are praying for, that they do for us, and we shall be very happy. The president was good. He prayed. I think his prayers went to heaven. I also asked him to come and pray for his deputy, the way he's prayed for his servicemen.
He took some tea. Because
the deputy needs prayers. Or he took some tea to those people.
Yes.
Farmers are crying. The tea prices are very bad in Mount Kenya, and they have all over the place, and coffee prices are very bad. So as you take that tea, think about the prices of tea and coffee.
Obuya, what if this whole impeachment process is just a distraction? You know, just to divert people's attention from the whole Adani saga.
It could be, but even if it's a distraction, it will have casualties. That's the biggest, because the casualty right now is Rigiji, and Rigiji is not going to go alone. My brother Malala has already lost his post of SG UDA because of was chatting with Rigiji. and kama alikuwa ameenda majini kidogo, but ameona wacha runi endelee kuwa na Rigiji. Now we have seen him with Rigiji over and over again. But the truth is that this fight is having casualties. Casualties could also be Kenyans, because with all the drama, the truth somehow doesn't come out. We even saw what Mbado was saying in Senate yesterday. There was lots and lots of drama. if you watch that story and you heard what Mbadu was saying and you heard what senators were saying, you just saw drama. You just saw people throwing barbs at each other. The truth, what that we are waiting for, we still don't know. Who is pushing for Adani, for example, in this country? Because Adani right now is in aviation, airport, he's in health, he's in education, he's in electricity. Where is he?
Soon he'll be in your marriage.
Yeah, that's now the problem. And we know we have seen these things over and over. You know, the more history changes, the more the history repeats itself. Because we have seen these things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
We saw Goldenberg, and people in government were pushing for that company to happen. We saw Artur Margarianas and Sagarisians in this country where they came for their interests, and the people who were pushing for their interest in the government at that time. And so even these are done.
Mamluki.
We just need to to be told. Wow, Mamluki wanaitwa Adani.
They had very big dogs. Nice ones.
Yes. R2.
Yes.
Kumbe ni Arthur kwa kizungu.
Yeah.
So we need to know the truth. Who is pushing Adani down our throats? Because Parliament is saying, okay, we accept the PPP is okay. We need it. We need to develop the airport. But please, can we just do this thing openly? Can we be clear to Kenyans on what we are doing? But the government is insisting that only Adani wrote to JKIA. But we have letters of showing two other companies writing, and in fact quoting lower prices to develop JKIA than what Adani is saying. 30 years to be in the airport collecting, proceeds there for 30 years, and then after that and bado uko some share in that airport
in perpetuity.
That is selling our birthright.
One of the things we forget is that whenever William Ruto is fighting with his deputy, or wherever Kenya Kwanza is fighting, it diverts their energy from making bad deals. Because when they are not fighting, they are making bad deals. So the fact that there's impeachment going on right now, there's nothing new that is being cooked that is horrible. That's a good thing. So let them fight very many times, because the more they fight, the less time they have to plan evil. What needs to be done is to get rid of Kenya Kwanza. Because if you don't get rid of Kenya Kwanza, you'll discuss Adani, then you go to university funding model, then you go to SHIF, then you go to NHIF, then everything about this administration is wrong.
But that's
so what happens is, you see, these are too many things. So our focus needs to be on, if you remove them, then you don't have to, because you will deal with Adani. Before you come back, your energy is wasted. There is SHIF. These guys are in Kenya Power. They're in Ketraco. Now, how do you fight all those battles? The problem is the head. The head that is bringing all these problems.
But Mambo, that's 3 years away. You're going to wait 3 years for that.
No. You remember there's a time we scared this administration. Completely and totally. To the point that he had to fire his cabinet and then of course hire half of it back. But when we become eternally vigilant, they kind of get... In fact, for some time, this guy never flew for like 2 months. He forgot the way to the airport. So let us be vigilant eternally. It will reduce their appetite for taking away from this nation.
The government never appears to listen to Kenyans. It never appears to listen to Kenyans unless we are on streets, unless lives are being lost.
Correct.
Unless people are being maimed on the streets by the policemen. Because, Adani deal has been spoken about with almost each and every person who is not in government. Even those who are in government, some who are in government are saying this deal is not a good deal. A listening, caring government will have said, wait a minute, let's step ourselves and see where did we go wrong? Where can we correct ourselves? But to them, before we finish JKIA, we are being told there's Ketraco, Adani. Before you finish JKIA and Ketraco, we are being told Adani is in SHIF. Before you finish SHIF, we'll be told Adani is somewhere else. And so what Kenyans asking is, what is so special about this Adani? Is it that only Adani as a company can help us develop JKIA? Why can the government step back and say, no, Kenyans are raising issues. Why can't we go along with them? It could be Adani. Just cancel the whole thing, tell other people, apply. Then take Kenyans through the whole of that process go walk along with Kenyans, and nobody's is saying don't develop JKIA. We are not saying don't develop JKIA. We are saying, can you develop it? Can you take us along? Can we not do this thing in secrecy and shrouded in some, we don't know who? Can we just take us along with you as you develop what you are trying to do for us? Because like I said, Jeff, hata kama unapika chakula tamu aje, kama sikulangi cabbage sikuli,
we would not have known this deal, or maybe it would have taken a lot longer.
Hata tungejua after 2 years
Bas.
Kama isha sign, kama washaanza kuleta
watu wao, yeah.
And that's why I was telling the people of Mount Kenya, look at some of the senators that other regions are giving, and ask yourself as Mount Kenya, how many of your senators would debate on Yonka? How many of your MPs and governors and MPs and senators would even understand that there is a problem in there? Jeff, some of the MPs, and I'm not going to mention yours, if they were given that Adani bill and they were told to try and interpret just one page, not even interpret, just read.
Yes.
Read through.
As is.
Yeah, read for us this page. And that's why I tell the people of Mount Kenya, kuna makosa tunafanya. Ati unataka kuchagua wewe umodole wa madathi, wa makeki, akawake, wa mae. It's like your pity party and you're taking someone to parliament to reward them ati yaede miaka 5 ajisaidie. And that is the problem. That's why so many deals go through parliament. Because some of the people we elect, we especially as Mount Kenya, cannot plainly read the Adani page. If you just tell them, read for us page 16. Then you tell us, you ask them, fast reading will be a problem. Leave alone now understanding and coming to tell people. So I thank the people of Kisii for electing a brilliant senator. We've seen other regions that have given very brilliant senators and very brilliant members of parliament. I mean, I did not lose my vote in Nairobi when I voted for Senator Sifuna. Yeah. He's brilliant, he's eloquent, and I think he's gone back to factory settings. He's realized if I continue with these ODM shenanigans, I'm not going anywhere. And now he's putting his own MPs to task. So the people of Mount Kenya, next time when you're going to the ballot, please, hiyo mtu ya kusema ati modo wa madadhi, aga modo wa metogi, hiyo nonsense muache.
Wa makeki.
Start looking for leaders who would understand what is written.